Hey y'all. This is gonna be Bible study with me. This is not something that I have immensely prepared for. I actually have not even looked at the scripture yet or opened my Bible this morning. Sorry, I'm trying to get these angles correct for both platforms. But yeah, like this is not this is not something that I heavily prepared for. I know that previously I have done Bible studies and they were popular per se. So I decided to do another one. What is going on with my thing back here? Bam. That's good enough. Um, yeah, so I've done them before. I actually prepared to share it because I read the Bible study and then I went back and read it again and I was like wrote some notes or whatever from the perspective of entrepreneur. But I decided um I was gonna just start doing them like unhinged. I don't know if that's the correct word, but unhinged. Welcome to my live. My name is Kelly, also known as the Spool Coach. If you've seen me before, you might not have ever seen my real hair, but this is my real hair. I do always wear wigs, but no, I am not bald headed. I'm not bald headed. I actually have a lot of hair and my hair is thick. So you may be like, this girl, she don't look the same as what she looked like before. What's going on? Okay, so this is a Bible study that I picked up at, believe it or not, I picked it up at Ross. I went to Ross one day with my grandmother, and she saw this, and I have been saying that I wanted a Bible study, so a specific one. So this one was at Ross. It was the only one there. Wouldn't you know? Look at God. It was the only one there. It is a 365-day devotional. It's daily strength for mothers. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I have to get this because it's for me. Like, it's for me. Y'all know when y'all see something like it's for me. So it has one for each day. So I'm just going to flip to the one for today, which is October 31st. I'm going to read through what is written here. We're going to talk a little bit about it. You guys feel free to comment below if you want to participate in the conversation. And then I'm also going to open my Bible. So the first for today is Psalm 3:5. I also have my actual Bible here. Let's open that up a little bit. I actually have my actual Bible here. And I have a leadership Bible. I have a John Maxwell leadership Bible. So my Bible has some interesting additional literature to read on the side, some additional interpretation, historically based interpretation, not personally based interpretation. Because there's a difference. Like you go to three different churches, they all preaching the same message, and the interpretation may be completely different, but this Bible has connotations of historical interpretation and it aligns what is in the verses with leadership qualities and elements that exist in real life. So it's a great Bible to have. So today we are reading from Psalm 35, and it says, I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. And the title of today's reading is called Sustained, which is interesting because moms, we don't really get that much sleep. I don't know about y'all, but I have a 2-year-old and I have a 3-month-old, and sleep is a luxury around here. Okay. It used to be a necessity, now it's a luxury. It says, this is the devotional. You tuck your children in at night, you brush their teeth, make sure they're warm enough, and get them a glass of water, and leave them knowing that they are safe and loved. Your bedtime routine might take 10 minutes or an hour, but no matter how much you do to prepare them for a good night's sleep, you are not the one who sustains them. It is God who watches over them and wakes them up in the morning. You can prepare all you like. Ooh, I know this is going somewhere already. But control does not belong to you. You can prepare them all you like, but control does not belong to you. This is the same in all areas of your life. Today, as you sit in the stillness, take a moment to relinquish control to the one who holds it anyway. Anyway. The unexpected can change your life in a moment. If controlling, maintaining, or sustaining your life in a certain way is what brings you comfort and satisfaction, then the unexpected will uproot you with a vengeance. Remember that God is your sustainer and you can praise him as such. Rest in his power and ability to orchestrate. Come on, y'all. God, thank you for sustaining me and my children. And this is the prayer for today. God, thank you for sustaining me and my children. I want to rest in the fact that you are in control. Where I have wasted energy trying to maintain everything, teach me how to trust you. I know that is not my prayer, my power that keeps my life afloat. Give me the grace to lean on you instead of myself. This is why I like the devotional that is specifically for moms, because it's talking directly to us, right? It's talking directly to what we do. So, God who watches over them and wakes them up in the morning, you can prepare all you like, but control does not belong to you. And I even sat in the car this morning because I listen to a sermon every morning just personally for myself to kind of get myself in alignment for the day, because I'm a very emotional person. I'm super emotional. I get offended by a lot of different things. This is something I'm working on. I get offended really easily. I don't necessarily show it, but I get offended really easily. And so I have to listen to a sermon a day, or else I will literally be off kilter, like hanging off the ceiling fan, angry, sad, happy, upset, excited, like hangry, like all of the emotions. So it helps me kind of stay balanced. But understanding that you are not the one in control and that you can relinquish it to someone who is in control anyway is a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. And for me, this morning, my message, what I received this morning, and this had nothing to do with the message that I listened to, which I will leave in the description if you guys want to know. But what I received this morning is that be careful. You have to be very careful not to put profit over profit. You have to be very careful not to put profit, PROFIT, over profit, PROPHET, because what happens is you start to make your decisions based off of revenue, which is what we're taught as entrepreneurs. You begin to make your decisions solely based off of revenue, not realizing or acknowledging that God is really the CEO of your business. So you shouldn't be making decisions based off of the profit. You should be making decisions based off of the profit, right? Like you should be listening to what God is telling you to do and talking to him as well. And I know that is a tricky thing for a lot of people. Like, well, how do I listen? Like, what, I don't really know if I'm hearing from him or I'm praying and I'm feeling like I'm not getting an answer, or I ask for a sign and I don't see where the sign is. And it's because there's no space in your life for him to even talk to you. So you are now making all of your business decisions based off of revenue, because that's what people tell you to do in the world, people that are of the world. And sometimes we accidentally get slipped into that. And we're like, oh yeah, like I was talking about such and such on Instagram and it brought me in some sales. So I'm just going to keep talking about that. Okay, but did you talk to God about it? Because it may not be in alignment. It may look really good right now and you may be making some money right now, but that doesn't mean that you're going to continue to make money, because you're aligning yourself with the dollar amount and not aligning yourself with God. So you have to be careful. And it's a very easy mistake to make. It is an easy mistake to make. And I'm a person who loves data. I love data. I love analytics. If I throw a number out there and something works and I'm like, oh yes, this is great. Like I'm all for it. And it may look good right now, but it is not sustainable. We're talking about being sustained. It's not sustainable. What's going to happen is it's going to be good, good, good. Then it's going to go downhill in a handbasket. And you're going to be like, what happened? It doesn't make sense. And then that's the first thing you do. What happened, guys? Because you put the profit over the profit. You put the prophet over the prophet by accident. Not even saying you're a bad. I'm not even saying you're a bad person. It easily can happen. So you have to be careful with that. But let's read. That's what I got this morning. But let's read Psalm 3:5 real quick here. Okay. And Psalm 3:5 says, I lay down and slept. I awoke, for the Lord sustained me. That's what it says. I like to, when I read my Bible study and I read the verse that they give me, I like to read a little bit before the verse and a little bit after the verse because the text means something different with the context. So, something, if you get a little piece of something, you may not really understand. You may not really understand what's going on if you don't look at the bigger picture of what's around it. Come on, somebody. You may not, sorry, y'all, I had a little alert there. You may not really understand what's going on if you don't look at what comes ahead and what comes behind. This is why I no longer do one-on-one business calls. I don't do one-on-one strategy calls. That's the text without the context. You're talking to me for 60 minutes or 90 minutes, and it's great, but I don't have the pretext and I don't have the text afterwards to be able to really give you something that is life changing. Please, y'all, do not book a call with somebody that's just a one off call and be like, this one call is going to change my whole business. This one call is going to make me $1 million, because the likelihood that you are giving the text without the context is very high. Some people do get on a call and they get off that one call and they're able to go make money, or they do book a VIP day. And at the end of that VIP day, they're able to go and run with it, right? That's positioning and timing. Those two things are not in human control. That's why some people can do that and some people cannot. That's a godly thing, right? Timing is we are all on God's time. We think we on our own time. That's why we make all these detailed schedules and plan things out and no, ma'am. Do it, right? Do it to show that you are serious about what's going on in your life and that you are serious about sowing the seed, but realize that ultimately it is out of your control. So let's read the before and the after. So Psalm 3 is about the Lord helping his troubled people. It is a psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Okay. So it says from verse 1 to verse 8 is what I'm going to read. Lord, how they have increased who troubled me. Many are they who rise up against me. Many are they who say of me, there is no help for him in God. But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory and the one who lifts up my head. I cried to the Lord with my voice, and he heard me from his holy hill. I lay down and slept. I awoke, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me all around. Verse 7, arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for you have struck all my enemies on the cheekbone. You have broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongs to, you have broken the teeth of the ungodly, period. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Your blessing is upon your people. This is good. This is good because it's speaking to our actions and our connection with God not being put in the hands of people who don't even like us anyway. Right? Like, it's good. I'm reading it and I'm like, wow. Many are they who rise up against me. Many are they who say there is no help for him in God. We live in a social media world. If you're watching me right now, we live in a social media world. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you. There's always going to be somebody that does not agree with what you're doing. They don't like your hair. They don't like your makeup style. Sorry, y'all got the hiccups. They don't like none of that. Not one of them. It says, many are they who rise up against me. There are going to be people who watch your content and literally go make content in opposition to the content you just made. And it's just the way that the world is right now, right? Or has been, because this is way long ago. But many are those. But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory and the one who lifts up my head. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people who have set themselves against me all around. So it's interesting. I like it, right? I like it. I like it. There's another piece in here that I'm almost thinking like I want to talk about, but I don't have time to today. But I think I may bring it out tomorrow. It's Psalms 1:1-3, about be careful where you get your counsel. Do I need to go back and read this right now? God said, don't rush me. God said, don't rush me. All right, let's go back and read this right quick. So Psalm 1:1-3 says this. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth its fruit in its season, whose leaves also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. Somebody needs to be careful where they're getting their counsel from. Because somebody has to be careful where they're getting their counsel from. Because y'all counseling up with folks that don't know nothing more than you know. And what do we call it? It's the blind and the blind. And it feels okay because you like that person and they have a good personality and they're nice and they drive a nice car and they're just so personable, but you are getting your counsel from the incorrect location. You know what happens when you take directions from somebody that don't know where you're going? You're taking directions from somebody who doesn't know where they're going. But it looks like they're going in the right direction, but you don't really know if they've made it to that location or not. And so you're taking your counsel in the wrong place. This psalm, right, contrasts the righteous and the wicked. Leaders take note, for the difference between the two seems to be where they get their counsel. Observe how a foolish leader can be led astray by a corrupt inner circle. This is another easy mistake to make. It's an easy mistake to be a leader in a circle full of incorrect counsel. It's why you got to be careful who you keep around you. You realize as an entrepreneur, you were not only building a business and you're birthing ideas on a daily basis, but you have been tasked to be a leader. So you have to be careful where you get your counsel from, because wherever you go, there are people behind you that are following you. And it used to be okay when you weren't an entrepreneur, and it used to be okay when you weren't a leader. Because if you just happened to go the wrong way, it was just you and you could just turn around. That's a little bit different when you got 500 people following you. Literally, some of you guys have 500 people following you. And I know we look at the numbers and we're like, 500 followers is low. 1,000 followers is low. 5,000 followers is low. You have 5,000 people following you. Do you know how difficult, if you were driving in a car and you said, hey, y'all, guess what? Today we're going to Texas. I live in Georgia right now. Today we're going to Texas. And 5,000 people got in their car and followed you to go to Texas, and you took the wrong turn and ended up in Mississippi. Do you know how difficult it would be to turn that caravan around? Be careful where you take your counsel. Because it seems like it's not that many people to you. And it seems like it's not that many sheep, but it's a whole lot of sheep. It's a whole lot of sheep. You have to be careful. You might have 100 followers. 100 people is a lot of people. Okay? 100 people is a lot of people. Um, there's 3 things that are listed in here. Observe how a foolish leader can be led astray by a corrupt inner circle. Verse 1, the leader begins to browse for the wrong counsel. This is all 3 of these are in verse 1. The leader begins to browse for the wrong counsel. The leader begins to listen to the wrong voices. The leader joins the wrong inner circle. Y'all who joined the coaching program and was like, whoa, what? This is not what I signed up for. If y'all ever joined the coaching program, you're like, this ain't what I signed up for. What's going on? Right? What's going on? I've been lucky to not join the incorrect coaching program. That is something that I do not have experience with. I don't think I have ever got on the internet. And I'm pretty sure I'm one of very few people who can say that. Luckily, I have a very strong spirit of discernment, and I'm able to see things in people that other people cannot see. So I got lucky with my gifts. Not lucky. I got blessed with my gift, which is great because I told y'all at the beginning of this, I'm very emotional. I probably would have been like, I'm not doing business no more. I'm done. I'm that person, right? I'm trying not to be that person, I should say. But the leader begins to browse for the wrong counsel. So you are looking for guidance from people who have material things that you want to have, but you're not looking for guidance from people who are where you want to be lifestyle wise, who are not where you want to be mentally. You got to look at the other things, not the physical assets. You have to look at, I want to be where she is spiritually. I want to be where she is in a health scenario, right? In a healthy position. I want to be where she is mentally. You want to look at those things because those 3 aspects, your mind, your health, your spirituality, those 3 things right there are going to determine the rest of whatever it is that you're looking for. You want a G-Wagon, you got to get your mind right, your health right, your spirit right. You see people that are overweight, they ain't got their health right. You see people that you don't never see them talking about God, or they seem like they have no moral compass. They may not even be a Christian. They might be something else. But even of all the religions, you have some type of moral compass, and there is some answer to a higher power. If they ain't got that, I am not trying to be in your coaching program. I do not care what you got. I don't care if you own 50 hotels. If there is no semblance of spirituality, if you don't have a leaning of understanding onto some higher power, we can't bump together. I'm sorry. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to be mad at you, but I'm not joining your coaching program. That's not happening. Right? And some people will say, because we've had a similar conversation to this on my page before. Let me close my Bible. But we've had a similar conversation to this before where somebody said, well, I don't know about that because drug dealers got money, strippers got money. Okay, it's a temporary gain. If you go have a personal sit-down conversation with a drug dealer or a stripper, what will they tell you? The money comes, the money goes. The money comes, the money goes. The money comes, the money goes. It's not sustainable. A stripper who is stripping right now, and if you're a stripper, I ain't got nothing against you, but I'm just saying this. You know this, right? The money is flowing out of your control. That's why you have to keep stripping. That's why you have to keep dealing drugs, because the money is flowing out of your control. If you are looking for money and wealth that is sustainable, you have to talk to the one who sustains you. Period. And there are strippers and drug dealers who go to church. Some of the people in church might as well be a stripper and a drug dealer. Might as well. But guess what? It's not sustainable. It has a beginning date and it has an end date. You want to know why a legacy is so powerful? A legacy has no beginning date and no end date. That's why it's so powerful. It goes on forever. It's sustainable, and not just by you, because a legacy is not just built by you. A legacy is built in partnership between you and God, so that when you leave this world, it continues to go on because it's not fully of you. You gone. You gone. It's not fully of you. So if you're trying to build something that is going to feed your children, your children's children, your children's children's children, you're going to have to get in partnership with God, because what you got is not sustainable. And what these other people out here got that they telling you, it's not sustainable. Because they're not the one who sustains. He's the one who sustains. All right. So that is the verse of the day. Psalm 3:5. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I gotta go host a team meeting. I'm late. They texted me. I was like, "What's up, girl?" But that's that. That's on that. I have a. I saw that question. What kind of Bible do you have? This is a leadership Bible. You can get it off of Amazon. This one is by John Maxwell. Now it is a Bible, but the connotation inside of it is by John Maxwell. He's a very famous preacher, speaker, author, all that good stuff. So that's what this is. I'll link it in my bio. This devotional is a devotional for moms. It came from Ross. The God said, I said the God, it is the God. God said, girl, if you don't get out of Ross, he said, you know, you're going to go in Ross, I'm going to give you something. So this is what I got out of Ross. This is what I got. You're welcome, y'all. I'm hop off of here. I will leave this in a replay if you want to rewatch it. If you go to my page if you're on Facebook, you can just rewatch it. If you are on Instagram watching me right now, I'm going to create a guide. So if you go look at my page, there's 4 icons on my profile page. The second page, it looks like an open book. That's called guides. If you click that, there's going to be a category there for Bible studies, and you can go watch the other Bible studies because we talk about everything related to entrepreneurship directly from the Bible. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all later.